It's day 90. 90 videos in 90 days. Woo! We are here. And if you've been with me since the very beginning, you are on day 90, my friend, of taking action every single day toward a goal, building a skill, building a mindset. Every single day, getting just a little bit better with each and every time that you do it. And I want to tell you, first off, I'm proud of you. And thank you for being here on this journey with me, realizing that this is just the beginning. We're just getting warmed up. There's still more to go, more to do after this. And we'll get to that in a minute. But first, take a moment, just take a big, deep breath in, and just take in this moment. You completed it. 90 days. You crossed the finish line of our 90-day experiment. Give yourself a giant high five. Celebrate this. This is something huge because other people may have started and then a weekend said, I just don't have enough time. Oh, this isn't working out the way I want it to. It's not going fast enough. I can't do it because whatever it is, fill in the blank. Fill in the excuse. But yet, not you. You stayed with it and you stuck with it. And I'll tell you this right now. The people that can take a goal on, a challenge, and stick with it every single day, getting just a little bit better to completion, those are the people who win. Not the people who sit there and say, I only want success if it's going to come on my terms and nothing else. So congratulations to you. You're one of the few that will. And if you keep it up, you will succeed. I guarantee it. So now in this moment of us reaching this 90-day goal, we need to look at and start reflecting on what our experience was like. What do we think we did really, really well? And what do we think we could improve on? What didn't go as well as we had hoped? So this is going to give us some really good information, some really good data for our next 90 days to know what we need to focus on, where we can improve, and then what we did really well so we can keep doing that again and again. Because once we know what we did well, we know what we can really start focusing on to make it even better. Because now you have more experience, 90 days worth of experience. You've had a lot of things that you had to learn. You've had a lot of difficulties and obstacles that you probably came up against that you had to overcome. And yet this experience is going to lead to you having a much more successful next 90 days. And then you just keep growing from here, a little bit by a little bit by a little bit. So let's take a look at it. And by the way, at the end of this video, I'm also going to give you the stats of how my 90 days went, where I started from and where I am 90 days later. Super excited about this. This is going to be great. So, number one, let's look at what we did well. So think about that. What did you do well? What do you feel that you really accomplished on this 90 days? Now, I'll tell you, what I think I did really well was stay consistent through 90 days. Every day I made a video, even when I didn't feel like it. There were some days it was really hard to drag myself in here and make this video. And it wasn't always an easy thing. Sometimes my schedule got in the way. Sometimes I just felt tired. Sometimes it was just mentally draining. But yet I did it. And even if I didn't show up as best as I felt I could, I still showed up. And that I think I did really well. I think I've also done pretty well getting my energy up on camera. I feel that at the very beginning, it was probably a little bit lower energy. And now it's kind of been brought up. So it's a little higher energy. So that's also cool. I feel something else I did well was start learning more about the different social media platforms. Because I was pretty ignorant on a lot of it. And yet I've learned so much on how the platforms work, how people interact. So I'm really excited to keep going with this for the next 90 days. So that's some of the stuff that I feel that I did really well on. Now, here's some of the stuff that I don't feel I did as well as I could have. Some of the videos I don't think were as interesting as they could have been. I think that I probably should have shown more of the behind the scenes, and I didn't really show that. I think I leaned more on the uh, more motivational, more strategy type videos. And so for the next 90 days, I want to start focusing more on the behind the scenes type of stuff. The watch me do it, and then you can follow along with me. That kind of real documentation type content rather than this more educational style face to face. So I think I could have done better there. I think I could have done a little bit better with leaning more into some of the social media platforms. As you're going to see on my stats, there were a couple of these social media platforms that I just did not pay attention to. It was I felt that sometimes I tried to do too many things at one time, and that too many things became very difficult to sustain. And so, as some of those things fell off, I was consistent with the YouTube video, but some of the other things ended up being very, very here and there. Sometimes I would be really, really good at it for a couple of days, and then would drop off for a couple of days, and then I was better at it. So one of the lessons I learned from that is saying that you want to focus only on a couple of things. The more things that you focus on, the more distractions you're going to have, the more your attention's diverted to all sorts of different places. And then the less impactful you are in those areas. So that's something I think I can do a little bit better on in the coming months. One of the other things that I think I could do better with is a little more focus on each topic. While I was really glad that I could get on, that I can get on camera and speak about these things pretty free flowingly, I think there needs to be some editing that can be done that makes this interesting and flow a little bit better. So over the next 90 days, I'm also going to look into hiring an editor as well to edit these videos a little bit better. Maybe I might do it. I haven't really decided on that yet. But I think that'll make the videos more interesting, and me coming up with some ideas that are a little more fun, a little more exciting, and a little more behind the scenes. So those are the things that I think I could do better on. So let's take a look at what the stats are. The really cool type of thing. Now, I was very interested in this because one of my main goals with creating this video every single day was building an audience on the different social media platforms and, in a sense, documenting it. And like I said, I don't think I did the documentation content as well as I could have. So that's going to be to get better on. That's in the get better column. But here are where I started out. I'll give you the where I started out and where I ended up at the last 90 days. Okay. So Twitter, and I guess that now changed to X. So Twitter started out with 227 followers, ended up at 260 followers. Instagram started with 13, ended up at 14 because I didn't really utilize the platform a lot. I kind of overthought it a little bit, trying to do really good descriptions and hashtags and all that stuff. And when my account got deleted, I really didn't focus on that one a lot. Pinterest, I had 5, started with 5, still have 5. That was another platform that I didn't really focus on a lot, just because I was focusing on some of the other video platforms. YouTube started with 9, now at 19. Cool, 10 extra people. That's pretty good. TikTok started out at 106, ended at 135. LinkedIn started out with 13, now I'm at 19. Didn't focus on that one as much. Focused on that one for a good chunk of time. I would say maybe about 4 weeks, maybe 5 to 6-ish, and then I didn't really focus on that one as much. Facebook page, I started out with 1, still at 1 on the fan page, but one of the cool things is was I started doing reels on the Facebook page, and some of those reels got to 10,000 views. So I thought that was definitely a win. 10,000 different people saw my reel. I think that's really cool. And then Snap started with 0, ended with 0. Didn't want to take the time to figure out how to use that platform. Because realize, I didn't really know how to use any of these platforms to begin with. So it was a complete learning curve to just learn how to post stuff on there, much less posting interesting content. Now these numbers were not a massive jump. This wasn't like I started out with 150 and now I have 10,000, right? Number one, because I'm learning, and this is all a new thing. Am I discouraged by these numbers? Not at all. I'm excited. These numbers are encouraging to me because they could have been started with 0 on everything and still ended up with 0. It could have been absolutely no growth whatsoever, but it didn't. It grew a little bit, which means I'm figuring it out. It's not massive, but I am figuring it out. And one day it will be massive because I'm going to keep doing it again and again and again. I'm going to keep getting better and it's going to grow exponentially. So I'm inspired and I hope you are too. If you notice that your growth wasn't as big as you thought it could be or should have been, look at how you did grow and let that inspire you. Let that get you excited, because if you can grow a little bit, it means you can grow a lot, and you can grow a lot when you start unlocking those little lessons, and you probably already started realizing it through your experience. You're probably noticing the things you can do better. And once you start doing those better, growth begins to compound and exponentially grow. So I am not in the least bit worried about it. I'm excited for the next 90 days to keep growing, to keep doing it, and to keep figuring out all of those little secrets that are going to cause a massive flood, a massive growth. So really interesting stuff. So for the next 90 days, I'm going to be looking at more of the behind the scenes type of content. So I encourage you to follow along again. Let's set another 90-day goal. Let's meet it together. What we're going to be seeing is more behind the scenes, more documentation, and definitely more interesting content. It's only going to go up from here. So I want to tell you again how proud I am of you, that you stuck with it. And even if you missed a couple of days, even if you fell off the wagon and you got back on, good for you. As long as you're taking those steps forward every single day, you will reach your biggest goals and even more that you couldn't even imagine. I hope these have been valuable for you, and I look forward to our continued journey together, because I know that we're going to achieve goals that you may have never even thought possible. But it is possible as long as you're taking action. So I know this has been super exciting. Realize this is just the beginning. We're going to keep moving forward from here. We're going to keep getting better. So I look forward to seeing you in the next series of videos. It's going to be really exciting. And yeah, I'm so ready for it. Aren't you? So set your 90-day goal if you haven't done it already. I'm setting mine, and I'm going to see you in the next series of videos. We're going to start this again. We're going to move forward powerfully and be better than ever. So until we meet again, my friend, and we will meet soon, be well, get strong, and take action now. Come on, say it with me. Say it with me. Take action now.